3. Count it down. All right, Shalom Akim out there. We want to start off by giving all glory, praise, honor, dominion, and power unto
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushai Ba'Shem Makwakwadash.
Giving double honors unto our apostles, our elders, and our teachers at Great Millstone that are ruling well and continue to do so. Salutations, peace, and blessings unto the hopeful elect at House of David. To you brothers out there fighting this good fight of faith, keep it up. And to you sisters doing that which is becoming the women, Shalom. And to those that are addicted unto this ministry, we say Shalom. Lord's willing, this is an edifying lesson. We came together through the spirit and power of the Lord and his son on the eve of the Passover, the Pesach in our language, which means Passover, going into the night that the Lord passed through the land of Egypt to slay all the firstborn, and all those that had the blood on the doorpost were spared. And also on the night in which the Lord was betrayed, he became that Passover, so that his blood may cover us and we may have remission of sins of many. So Lord's willing, this is an edifying lesson. We're going to jump right into it, of the importance of the Passover. It ain't just a lamb dinner. Ain't you doing your own goddamn thing. Well, I don't want lamb, I want chicken. No. The Lord said lamb. The Lord said bitter herbs. The Lord said unleavened bread. The Lord said wine. That's it. It's very simple. It's very plain. You want to make it more than it is, then the Lord is going to add more plagues onto you. Because you adding onto the word of the Lord. And then certain guys want to take it away. Oh, no, I don't want to do it like that. Then you're going to be taken out of the Lamb's book of life. So the Lord is very strict and very stern about what he ordered us to do. The best believe the Lord wasn't playing that night. He was slaying them Egyptians. All you was hearing was wailing outside the window, outside in the different houses, while we were eating in haste, getting ready to get thrust out of the land by Pharaoh and his people. The Egyptians was crying, mourning. There was not one house in the land that one person wasn't dead in. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't even just men. It was upon the beasts as well. Mm-hmm. So it goes to show. And they were in darkness at this time. Mm. And Israel had light. So it just goes to show you, do the right thing, or the Lord is going to remove your candlestick, as he tells you in Revelation. And we're going to jump right into the scripture you got. You want to bring it out?
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11. Start at the verse 20 on down.
Now, Shaw, if anything, jump up to 16, because a lot of these different camps have contention of what the apostles and elders have done. We made our Passovers very simple, very plain, just like the Lord Yahweh Shai kept. He had no grandiose, big Passover like Josiah, King Josiah. That's what these guys are trying to base it off of. But Josiah had that was different. That was when we were in our land. It was a different time. When Yahweh Shai had it, we were under Roman rule. It was just, and we were still keeping the feast. The Romans allowed us to keep our customs. And how did Yahweh Shai do it? Very, very subtle. Very, very humble and very meek. He didn't make it so grand, shindig, so to speak. He made it very plain. He made the disciples understand how important it was. It was just as serious on the night that the Egyptians were slain. The Lord was in a very heavy spirit because he knew he had to be slain for the nation, beginning with the hopeful elect. But go ahead,
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 16 on down. But if any man seem to be contentious, we have no such custom, neither the churches of the Most High Yahweh.
Dudes want to be contentious. Well, all right, bro, then don't come to the pastor. Just stay away.
That's it.
For your own safety, stay away. And that's why the apostles and elders and brothers get on these other groups. Well, I don't like lamb, so I'm going to do it. Bro, for your own safety, just stop. Just don't even do it. You don't even know what you involved in. Just don't even participate in it. That'd be safer for you and your family. Now, if you know what you involved in, you gonna do it by the book. Literally by the book. You gonna do it the right way. Go ahead,
Verse 17. Now, in this that I declare unto you, I praise you not.
Because these dudes, well, I'm holding it though. See, I got a congregation. That don't mean nothing. If you leading your congregation astray, you gonna get them all killed. Look at this Zu Alizé who fell from grace. It said when the shepherd is smitten, what happened? The sheep are scattered abroad. The lions, the wolves, everybody can get them. So if you're not leading the sheep the right way, sheep are already docile animals. They gonna be led astray. They gonna get captured. They gonna get killed. So if you're not leading the congregation the right way, like the apostles and elders, that's why we give double honors unto our apostles and elders, because they're leading us the right way. And they know how very grievous and how very detrimental this feast is. Because the Lord killed a man for picking up sticks on the Sabbath. This is the Old Testament, as they say, Old Testament God. Mm-hmm. But he's the same power as he was then. It's just that he's having more grace on us because of the blood of Mashiach. And if you don't have the blood of Yahweh Shai, you're already dead. It said if you believe, you're condemned already. Go ahead, Ak.
That ye come together, not for the better.
See, dudes want to come together. Oh, it's an Israelite party for the better, right?
Yeah.
But it said more for the worse, because the worst we seen society is about to happen. We never seen society break down and crumble. We never seen one kingdom transition into another kingdom. We never seen war, nuclear war. We never seen what we're about to see. Mm-hmm. We've never seen such things as what we're about to see. And this may be the last Passover. Because remember the Passover in 2020, certain brothers wasn't even in the camp yet. That literally was the last one we held. And the Lord shut the world down. Mm-hmm. All them other groups couldn't even hold their Passover. Them rats couldn't even hold theirs. Because the world was just stopped. Mm-hmm. And so it goes to show you how important it was. Like, we got to hold it. We praise the Lord. And the Lord changed the world. Since then, it's been 5 years since that time. What you think the Lord going to do this time? Go ahead, Ak.
But for the worse.
But for the worse. Go ahead, Ak.
Verse 18. For first of all, when ye come together in the church, I hear that there be divisions among you.
Now, we come together for this feast to do it the way that the Lord wanted us to do it. In a solemn assembly. We eat in haste. We do what's required of us. And then we go home. And then we keep the Feast of Unleavened Bread the way the Lord wants us to keep it. But there's divisions still among all these other groups. Like, y'all talking about unity camps, but there's divisions among you. Why don't you come under the banner of the apostles and elders that's been doing it the right way? Everybody that seems to come up against the apostles and elders is cast to the ground quickly. So it just goes to show you, y'all need to stop coming up against these men. We give them double honors and we're blessed. The Lord keeps increasing us. Y'all condemning these men and y'all get destroyed. Mm-hmm. It goes to show you that the Lord demands order, not division, order. And if you don't want to keep order, the Lord is going to get you out of the way and order another in your stead or in your stead, in your office. Go ahead up.
And I partly believe it.
And I partly believe, because there are divisions, but there's no divisions among brothers. Mm. You know, you might be, like, hey man, what type of wine should we get? Mm-hmm. We we back and forth on that, but it's not like to the point where I want to fight this brother because he want to bring this type of wine. As long as you get the wine, brother, that's cool. Hey, unleavened bread. What about this? Homemade or whatever one you want to bring, brother. Bring unleavened bread. Make sure it's unleavened. Oh, go and get that horseradish. But what type of... Brother, just bring the best of the horseradish. It don't matter which one you... See? The Lord's like, Paul said, I partly believe that there's divisions. Brothers going to have different tastes. Yeah. But the thing is, the thing we agree on is what the Lord is saying. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing we do agree on. Brothers got their own little style. One brother like a hat. One brother got the little Kangol on. Another brother like boots. Another brother like Timbs. But we all agree on the most important things, which is the will of the Lord. Go ahead, Ak.
Verse 19, for there must be also heresies among you.
In these other groups.
That they which are approved may be made manifest among you.
Hey, that's what happened with Sakari. He was once among us long a time ago. He learned from our elders and apostles, but his disobedience and his heresy caught up with him finally. Go ahead, Ak.
Come, verse 20. When ye come together, therefore, into one place, this is not to eat the Lord's Yahweh Bashim Yahshai supper.
Yeah. Now, certain dudes come together for like a little get-together, hang out, or cook out. Paul is saying this is not for the Lord's Supper because it's done a certain way. The Lord's Supper is done a certain way. You just coming together to eat and drink and chill out, that's something else. That's what you can do it in your own house. This is not for the Lord's Supper. Go ahead, Ak.
For in eating everyone taketh before other his own supper.
Yeah, so you don't want to come to the Pesach hungry. You want to actually go get something to eat before you at your house. Mm-hmm. You eat what you will. But when you come to the supper, it's a certain thing you eat at the supper. Lamb, bitter herbs, unleavened bread, wine. That's it. You don't. Oh well, you know, brother. You know me. I like fried chicken and whatever. But that was at your own house, brother. If you want to eat that at your own house before the actual ceremony, cool. Go do it. When you come here, this is what we eating. We're not eating nothing else. But I want. It ain't about what you want. This ain't Burger King. You can't have it your way. This is the way of the Lord. Go ahead.
And one is hungry.
Oh, see, you can't come all hungry. Like, well, see, I didn't know. I thought y'all said I was making lamb, so I just held off. Like, no, bro, eat something before you come to the feast, because the feast is not about eating. It's about what the Lord did. It's about what He's going to do. Mm-hmm. It's about His promise to us to deliver us from this modern Egypt. It said that the deliverance from Egypt will no longer be spoken about, which is going to be in the memories and minds of people, but it ain't going to be at the top of deliverance. It's going to be the deliverance from America and all the lands we were scattered. The Lord's going to outdo Himself this time. That's what the Lord wants you to think about. What did I do for you in the past? What did my son do for you to bring you back into myself? What am I going to do for you this time? Don't think about the wine and the lamb and the unleavened bread and just eating. Think about what the Lord did. Think about what the bread represents, His body broken. Mm-hmm. See what the wine represents, His blood that He shed for you. What does the lamb represent? Yahweh Shai literally on the cross. It said not one of His bones was broken. We're not even supposed to break the bones of the lamb. It goes to show you. And then we're supposed to throw it into the fire. Yahweh Shai was tested in the spirit. He was in the fire of tribulation. But he made it out on the other side. We're being tested by the fire of the spirit. He was tested in the spirit to do the will of the Lord. Go ahead.
Verse 21. For in eating everyone taketh before other his own supper, and one is hungry, and another is drunken.
See, the Lord's already knowing what the hell is going on. He's like, what the hell y'all doing? Yeah. And we see that in these other groups. Yeah. One is drunk, another dude is hungry because he couldn't pay for his plate. You know, He can pay for his ticket to get out to wherever the hell they hold it, they Passover at. And now he all mad, like, man, I spent all this money, can't even make it out. It ain't about that, the Lord is saying. Go ahead,
Come on. Verse 22, what? Have ye not houses to eat and to drink in?
Hey, Paul said in play, like, bro, don't you got your own place to do all this at? Mm-hmm. Why you coming over here with that madness? Yeah. Well, I ain't eating nothing. You know, my wife didn't make it. Bro, you should have grabbed something to eat before you came here. Oh, you know, I had to get a babysitter, so I had no. You know, you got all these excuses. Eat in your own house and drink in your own house. Go ahead,
Yeah, so we got just if I may add, we have to keep the seriousness of this Passat. You know, we have to keep the integrity. You know, it's not like, oh yeah, you know, hey, oh yeah, you know, it's this is a barbecue. You know, yeah, come on, you get some land. No, you know, it's all about, you know, we got to keep the integrity of this Passat. You know, it's a very serious ordeal.
That's right, bro. Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
Or despise ye the church.
They despise the order of Great Millstone, the church. Mm-hmm. That's the church. Yeah. They despise what's going on. Well, you know, I want to do my own way. That's what Alizé did. And look at him. Fell from grace. All the rest of you dudes that want to do your own thing, you going to fall eventually. The Lord is sick and tired of you using Him. What He made His name great by was destroying the Egyptians with the 10 incurable plagues. But the last plague really set the Lord's name in stone forever. Like, damn, He destroyed the Egyptians' firstborn, delivered His people out, and then, come on, that's why we celebrate this feast. And then what Yahweh Shai did on the eve of the very same high holy day, He became the sacrifice. He became that lamb. His blood was better than that of Abel's. His blood was better than that was on the doorposts in Egypt. So we have to understand that. And we have to understand what the Lord did that very same night. How seriously minded He was, knowing that He's going to be betrayed by somebody within the feast. You know? Mm-hmm. That's why Paul said it, like, man, one dude drunk, one dude is hungry. Mm-hmm. Judas was hungry for what? Power. Mm-hmm. Was hungry for taking the Romans down. So he tried to move the Lord's hand by betraying Him, but he ended up taking his own self out because he was guilty of the blood of the Lord. Go ahead,
Come on. The church of the Most High Yahweh, and shame them that have not.
So read that part again from or despise.
Or despise ye the church of the Most High Yahweh, and shame them that have not.
So you got a lot of our people that are poor out here that don't got no food. They digging out of trash cans. We're coming here for something greater than just the food. We're coming here for what this entails, what the Lord wants us to remember, what the Lord wants us to know, what the Lord did. So we're not here to be like, oh, see, we already see, we got the lamb. I don't know about y'all. No, we're here doing the will of the Lord. Our whole nation is supposed to be doing this, and they don't know nothing about it. So we have much more responsibility to do it the right way than to play around with it like these other groups. Go ahead, huh?
What shall I say to you? Shall I praise you in this? I praise you not.
Hey, we don't praise you other groups that's showing our people that the Passover is just some party when really it's something solemn and serious, and it's what our whole nation is supposed to do to remember what the Lord did for them. Go ahead, huh?
Verse 23, for I have received of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai that which also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Yahushai, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread.
Now, what was the bread? The unleavened bread. He took it. What did he do with it?
Verse 24, and when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, take, eat, this is my body, which is broken for you.
His body was broken by the whips and the rods and the beating that he took for you, carrying that cross to Golgotha, the place of the skull, right? Crucified for you. But yet dudes is playing around as if like the Lord wasn't in a heavy spirit. That he literally kept the same feast you're about to keep, but he was in a heavy spirit like, damn, I really gotta be crucified. I'm gonna be not of this world in a few hours. Come on, man. That's what our forefathers was thinking when they were in Egypt. Like they were just hearing death on the outside, screams on the outside, but yet they feeling that presence, which right past them. They that blood saved us.
Yeah.
Come on, man. So the blood of Yahushai is gonna save us.
That's it.
Go ahead,
this do in remembrance of me.
We doing this in remembrance of the Lord, of Yahushai. And we also remember what he did for us in Egypt and how Yahushai was that death angel.
That's right.
That was slaying the firstborn. Go ahead,
Verse 25, after the same manner, also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, this cup is the New Testament in my blood.
The new covenant in his blood, which is what the wine represents. Go ahead,
this do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me.
In remembrance of the Lord. As often as we drink it, we remember what the Lord did. How precious his blood is, that it speaks better things than that of Abel. And if you drink it unworthily, you're done. Go ahead.
For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do show the Lord's death till he come.
Man. Because you actually understand, like, whoa, if I don't do the right thing, I'm dead. But Yahushua knew that what he was going to do through his death was going to bring life to many. Those that was actually in the graves when Yahushua gave up the ghost came out of the graves, walked into Jerusalem, and lived full lives. How about that? So if you come into this feast and you were dead, like this is your first Pesach, you literally come alive like those people in the graves and live a full life in the Lord. Or if you are already living, you die with the Lord so that you may reign with him. You understand, like, well, I'm dying more to this world by keeping this feast. While everybody else is celebrating and partying, we're in a mournful, solemn spirit of what the Lord had to do, what he risked, what he gave, and what he's going to do, you know? But we do know that the Lord rose in the midst of this same feast. Days after, the Lord rose again. So that's victory right there. Go ahead.
And verse 27, wherefore whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai unworthily shall be guilty of the body and the blood of the Lord Yahushai.
Dang. Keep going, huh?
But let a man examine himself.
There we go. That's what we do before we come. On this day, we examine ourselves. A whole week, we getting cast 11 out the house. We casting it out of our mind. We're casting it out of our spirit. We're casting it out of our life. In the spirit, then in the physical. And we're examining ourselves this whole time so that we may be worthy to stand before the Son of Man at his day. But first, we're doing it at this feast before brethren that have the same mind that we got. Go ahead,
Huh. And so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup.
That's it.
Verse 29, for he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body.
So we discern the Lord's body and what he had to do and what price he had to pay. It said you're bought with a price in another place.
That's right.
We know what the Lord had to do. So we're not playing around with this day. That's why our families are like, where are you going now? To keep the feast of the Passover. It's very important. But what? Right. Because of what the Lord did. Every time I keep this feast, I have to remember what the Lord did in his body. And that if I drink it or eat unworthily, we're all dead. So we keep this feast not only because we kept it in Egypt and it was throughout our generations, but we keep it more preferably how the Lord kept it because of what he did. Because we all are bearing our cross and following after. Go ahead.
Okay, come on. For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep.
Yeah, many have died that kept this feast in the times past. They're dead. Some are sickly and weak that we know of, brothers that are sickly and weak because they kept it unworthily this whole time. That's why we have to come into it more solemn and more serious than ever before, because this may be it. The next time we hold it, we'll be with the Lord Yahweh Shai, possibly.
Man.
You know?
That's it.
So, 31.
Verse 31, for if we would judge ourselves, we would not be judged.
We should not be judged.
We should not be judged.
That's it. We have to judge ourselves. Keep going on.
That's it. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world. Wherefore, my brethren, when ye come together to eat, tarry one for another. And if any man hunger, let him eat at home, that ye come not together unto condemnation, and the rest will I set in order when I come.
See? So you have to eat before you come together before the brethren, so that you don't eat condemnation. You know? The Lord is telling us, hey, eat. Do what you got to do. Come together for the worse and not for the better. Because we're in a very bad state as a people. But we're going to have better days because the Lord sees what we're doing and he holds it in high esteem. A book of remembrance is written of our conversation, what we're having, our manner of life. But I know you got something to Isaiah.
Yeah, this is 1 Corinthians 5, verse 7, and it reads, purge out, therefore, Slakia. Straight to verse 7. 1 Corinthians 5 and 7, it reads, purge out thereof the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened, for even Yahushua Mashiach, our Passover, is sacrificed for us.
Let's read that again, all right?
This is 1 Corinthians 5 and 7, and it reads, purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened.
We're new creatures in the Mashiach, as it tells in another place.
For even Yahushua Mashiach, our Passover, is sacrificed for us.
Now, can you get that word purge real quick? And I'm going to play this clip for the IQ.
That's it.
But then, you were always there to get me out of trouble again.
That's it.
Why can't things be the way they were before?
Father, it's so dark. I'm frightened. What is he here? Isn't that the man who did all this?
Yes. But one must wonder do. You Hebrews have been nothing but trouble. My father had the right idea about how to deal with your people, Ramesses. And I think it's time I finished the job. Ramesses. And there shall be a great cry in all of Egypt, such as never has been or ever will be again.
That's it. Firstborn.
Man.
Ramesses, you bring this upon yourself.
That's it. Woo! So, if you eat unworthily, you bring it upon yourself. And it ain't just you, but everything that pertains to you. You see how he's like, think about your son.
Yeah.
So say you come in here, you got a family and a wife. Think about your people. Because if you come here being a demon, Yahweh Shemashai gonna send that death angel. And then we just have a video about the death angel.
Yeah.
Gonna take your head off. And the death angel was slaying the dudes that knew they was Israel.
Right.
And then he was stopping certain dudes next. Like, all right. You know? So, it's a spirit. Come on, man. Stop playing. Go ahead.
This is that word, purge. I'll play it.
Ekathyro. Got it.
And it says, to cleanse out, clean thoroughly, to cleanse.
Woo! To cleanse out. Clean thoroughly. That's it, bro. Hey, is there any more on that?
No, that's pretty much it. Bro.
Purge out, cleanse thoroughly. Go to the root of the word. Go to the root.
You want to put this one here?
Yeah. Go to that root.
To cleanse of filthy
Woo.
impurity, to prune trees and vines from useless shoots, metaphor for guilt, to expiate.
Expiation, which is blood, right? The blood of Mashiach does all that, cleanses the filth of impurity, right?
Right.
Prunes the tree. Remember he said, like, man, this tree ain't bearing no fruit. Remember the parable?
Right.
And the master was like, man, cut it down. He's like, well, let me deal with it for a year. A dog around it, put some, manure or whatever. And if it bears fruit, well, and if not, cut it down. So the Lord is only going to deal with you for a time.
Yeah.
They ain't bearing no fruit. Cut it down. So you want to already be purged from the filth of impurity, to be cleansed by the blood of Mashiach, so that he may prune you, so that you may be connected to the true vine. Right? And you don't want to be useless, not bearing no fruit. And you want to be free from guilt through the expiation.
Right.
Through the shedding of blood, but it ain't through your blood, it's through the blood of Mashiach that cleanses you. That's pretty much it, huh? Now let's continue. Read that next scripture, and that'll be it for the lesson.
1 Corinthians 5:8, and it reads, therefore let us keep the feast, not with old leaven.
Well, read 7 again.
Oh, Slakia. This is 1 Corinthians 5:7, and it reads, purge out therefore the old leaven.
Purge it out. Get it out of there. Well, get it out of there then. Right? Go ahead.
That ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Yahushua and Mashiach, our Passover, is sacrificed for us.
And that's beautiful, because when you're unleavened, ain't you like flat, smoothed out? See, the Lord gonna flatten you out, smooth you out. Like, all right, now you good. You know? Because before you just feel all type of bull crap, leavened bullshit, you know? So if the Lord smooths you out and really like deals with you, flattens you out, all right, you good now. You ain't got no leaven in you whatsoever. I can deal with you now. Go ahead, up.
It's 1 Corinthians 5:8, and it reads, therefore let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth.
There it is. Because at the first you really didn't know what the feast was truly about. Okay, it was our deliverance out of Egypt. All right, cool. But then now we know, it's beyond that. Because Jake that was delivered out of Egypt then was slain in the wilderness. Save for 2, Joshua and Caleb. Even Moses and Aaron didn't get in there because they misspoke. Because of Jake. And they didn't cast out the filth, the wickedness, and the malice. But those that kept the feast the right way was that new generation. And they kept it with what? Sincerity and truth. They understood the severity of it. Like, damn, I don't keep it the right way, I'm through. So we gonna keep this feast with sincerity and truth. And we pray you do also. If you out there keeping this feast among our brethren, hey, you already know what time it is. This is a remembrance of times past, of how we were delivered out of Egypt. We're in this new Egypt. We're going to be delivered this time. But it's all going to be through what? The blood of Mashiach covering your doorpost. That he will pass over you. And by passing over, as it tells in another place, he will deliver it. What's the it? The elect. That's who he's going to deliver this time. Because we've been bought with a price. The blood of Yahushua covers us. He has become our sacrifice. He has become our Passover. So with that, we're going to close out giving all praises, glory, and honor unto
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakakadash.
double honors unto our apostles and elders once again. Salutations, peace, and blessings unto the hopeful elected house of David. Those when you were edified, hey, be sincere and do this in truth, and the Lord will pass over you and deliver you. Remember the blood, to keep it on your doorpost, your mind. Remember what Yahushua did, so that you may stand worthy before the Son of Man, blameless, harmless, the sons of the Heavenly Father, before a crooked and perverse nation, in whom you shine as lights. And with that we say, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.